In this video, we'll be taking a look at one NFL game happening on October 6, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for this game, so 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one NFL game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Indianapolis Colts versus Denver Broncos. 2 teams that had both divisional aspirations as well as playoff aspirations for 2022 will do battle in Denver on Thursday Night Football. The Indianapolis Colts come into the matchup at just 1-2-1 on the season and fresh off a disappointing home loss to division rival Tennessee. The Broncos are 2-2 on the season after a loss to the Raiders in Las Vegas on Sunday. The Indianapolis Colts will be looking to rebound from a 24-17 loss to the Tennessee Titans to fall to 1-2-1 on the year. Matt Ryan has thrown for 1,125 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions on 66.2% passing, while Jonathan Taylor has a team-high 328 rushing yards this season. Michael Pittman Jr. leads Indy's receiving group with 20 grabs for 224 receiving yards, while another 5 Colts have at least 100 receiving yards so far this season. On defense, Zaire Franklin has a team-high 45 total tackles, while Kwity Paye has a team-high 3 sacks this season. The Denver Broncos will try to bounce back after a 32-23 loss to Las Vegas for their second loss, sitting at 2-2 in this one. Russell Wilson's thrown for 980 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception on 61.1% passing, while Melvin Gordon III and Javon Williams have combined for 343 rushing yards so far, but Williams is now out for the season with a knee injury. Courtland Sutton leads Denver's receiving group with 24 grabs for 343 receiving yards, while Jerry Jeudy has 183 receiving yards this season. On defense, Josie Jewell has a team-high 23 total tackles, while Bradley Chubb has 3 sacks so far this season. Indianapolis is 11-5 against the spread in their last 16 road games and 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games overall, while the under is 9-0 in their last 9 games overall. Denver is 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games overall and 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 Week 5 matchups, while the under is 6-2 in their last 8 home games. Both teams coming banged up on a short week in what amounts to a near must-win game despite it being just Week 5. The Colts in particular remember how last season ended as the team tried to scramble from a tough stretch and fell short. Jonathan Taylor appears to be trending towards being inactive on Thursday night. This would be a huge blow to the Colts offense, which has already been the worst in the league this season. Indianapolis has averaged just 14 points through the first 4 weeks of the season. If the star running back is unable to play, the weight of the team will go onto the shoulders of Matt Ryan. The veteran quarterback ranks 23rd in QBR this season and has had a tough time developing a connection with his receivers, except for Michael Pittman Jr. However, Ryan's favorite target will likely be covered by Patrick Surtain II all night, which means Ryan will have to explore other targets. When he's done that this season, it has resulted in errant throws and incompletions. Similar to Indianapolis, Denver's biggest problem this season has been their offense. The Colts rank 32nd in points per game while Denver ranks 30th, and both teams have struggled in the red zone. But the difference in this game is that the Broncos' defense has been able to keep them in the fight. The Denver defense has allowed the 2nd fewest passing touchdowns and the 6th fewest rushing touchdowns, and with Taylor potentially being ruled out, the Broncos' defense would be able to focus on the Colts' passing attack. So the Denver Broncos to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Indianapolis has struggled this season and only has 1 win, which came against the Chiefs in Week 3. Denver hasn't looked much better, especially on offense, but does have 2 wins this season. The Colts have gone under in 9 straight games. That's an oddity for a team that used to be known for their offense, but quarterback, offensive line, and now running back issues have made them a pedestrian offense. The Broncos have gone under in 3 of their last 4 games, and while the defense struggled some against the Raiders, that is a much more explosive team than the Colts. Denver not having Javon Williams and the Colts not having Taylor possibly means that both quarterbacks are going to have to play it safe. This matchup looked a lot better coming into the season than it does today. Both teams thought they had improved the QB position greatly in the offseason, but especially in one case, it hasn't happened. Matt Ryan has been terrible for the Colts so far this season. He ranks 26th in EPA per dropback and is 32nd out of 35 quarterbacks in PFF grade against pressure. He looks lost in this offense, and RB Jonathan Taylor hasn't been able to get going against a stacked box. Now Taylor is dealing with a bad ankle, and it doesn't look like he will play. WR Michael Pittman Jr. is a deep threat, but expect emerging star CB Pat Surtain Jr. to shadow him one-on-one. Ryan has attempted the second lowest number of deep passes this year in the NFL. Otherwise, there is not much explosion in this offense, and it is not something that can be fixed on short notice, especially without their biggest playmaker in Taylor and against a defense that has allowed only one total touchdown in 2 home games this season. The Colts have been decent moving it between the 20s, but they have bogged down a lot when getting near to the red zone. They rank 8th in my drive success metric, but because they haven't produced many explosive plays, they haven't been able to capitalize much and have reached the red zone or scored a touchdown outside of the red zone on only 30% of their drives that have started on their side of the field. They are 31st in EPA on offense for the season, and it's hard to imagine that this is the environment and a short week to turn it around. The Broncos have produced some big plays on offense, but they still aren't blocking that well on offense and now are down one of their best players in RB Javonte Williams. The Broncos are 25th in percentage of drives that have either ended in a touchdown or reached the red zone. They have produced the second most 3-and-outs in the NFL per drive and are also 28th in neutral game pace. They play slowly, are missing one of their best playmakers, and have not been consistent enough from a drive-to-drive perspective. The Colts defense has played very well, even without Shaq Leonard, and should be in a position to keep the Broncos offense in check for much of this game. They've allowed the 5th lowest rate of drives to end in a touchdown or red zone appearance this season. They are also 4th best at producing 3-and-outs. The market has clearly got both of these offenses wrong, and in fact, they rank 31st and 32nd in points below their posted team totals. They have gone under their team totals in 7 of 8 combined games by an average of 8 points per game. Thursday night games have gone under the total in 41 of 85 games since 2010 when it has closed at 44 or below. Both coaches will play it safe to avoid turnovers and hope that their respective defenses will win the game. This total isn't adjusted enough in my opinion, especially because both teams have only combined for 43 points or more in one of their 8 games this year. Both teams have high-end defenses and offenses that have struggled to finish off drives with touchdowns. Look for a tight game that will be more of a battle of field goals than touchdowns in this one. The line has dropped in the short week, and that is understandable with 2 banged-up teams just trying to get through this week. Primetime unders have been money for the most part so far this season, and I expect this one to be no different between 2 inconsistent offensive units and a pair of solid defenses on a short week as well. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.